Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Me on top, Uncle Doug on the bottom there. Bringing him in for a moment because you know the drill. We're going to start off with it right away. The big loot giveaway for the end of the live today. So you have some beauty things to look at. If I can get it there. Super cute stuff. There's these blanks will be coming back in solid brass here soon. These are some star blanks that are embossed. There's some painted things, some other blanks in there, some pewter, natural brass, solid brass. Wish I could give you a little bit of a better. There we go. That's a bit better. So there's our big loot giveaway. And all you have to do is love react to the live. For a chance to win and to claim it, you must have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com, and we will include that in your order and ship to you for free. So make sure you get those love reactions in, and then we will have 3 trivias to do today. So that's very exciting.
Did you
We have a little.
customize your finger?
Yeah, I stabbed it today.
Ow.
Yeah, it really hurt, and it went really deep. So
Was it
it
an
was
owl?
just. No, it was actually the tweezers, but they were like super, super sharp tweezers. And I was getting a label off and it slipped and it went like in my thumb, like right by my thumbnail and under the thumbnail into like the underneath nail bed.
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
yeah, it hurts. And then it started like, bleeding and stuff. And I was like, I need to put a wrap over it to prevent that from happening on the live. So it hurt my finger this morning, but it's okay.
Well, I'm glad
Anywho.
it's not oozing all over.
I know, me too. Kieran helped me out with the athletic tape, so that works super well. Anywho, we will drop Uncle Doug off. We'll get right down to business, and then we'll bring him in for trivia. Sound good? Bye bye. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We have a crystal garden theme that we're working with today. And for some reason, Facebook does not let me see live comments. So I'm going to try my hardest to view comments on my iPad because those do come in real time, but I do have to like jump from a screen to another screen. It did not feel good, Peggy, that's for sure. But so good to see you and Sherry and Janet, Connie, Cindy, Candy, lovely ladies. Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. And I'm sure there's a bunch more too that will be hopping in here, but we're going to get right down to business and then we can chat a little bit more during the live today. So let's start out with. Let's show you the jewelry quick. We'll show what everything looks like on at the end of the live, but I do want to go through and show you guys what we will be working on today. So we have these super cute, like windy sailboat charms that I thought paired really well with the natural brass anchor. And then this little nugget circle back here is solid brass, but I painted it with moonstone, though you can do it both ways. I thought it would look cute if you had the sailboat up here. Here, let me just grab one of these other ones. If you had the sailboat up here with that painted like the moon, so it's like the sailboat is sailing past the moon or with the moon behind it. So there's some really cute things you can do with those nugget circles. I've loved working with them. So we have those cutesy earrings. We have this adorable bracelet. So we have some resin work that we're going to be going over today as well, which I'm super excited for. And this bracelet is very cute when it's on too. It's like the back so you guys can see kind of what I've done. And then we have this massive bracelet. She's a honker, but she is gorgeous. I am seriously in love with this crystal. I'll show you what the crystal looks like out of the filigree so you guys have an idea of what it like looks like in real life, because sometimes it's hard to see the crystal behind the filigree over the camera. So I did want to show you guys that with all the facets. Stunning. It looks so good on too. I really love that. And then this one. So this one, you ladies, is super unique. It's got that massive Swarovski galactic bead there at the top. But what's really neat about this is that we're going to be using two blanks. There's one with a hole and one that's got the back. And these blanks actually go together to make kind of like a booklet, right? So you'd put your jump rings in the hole and you can open it and close it. And we're going to be doing it with our little solid brass flower there with some resin work to make the front look super neat. But I was coming around and I noticed when I would hang the necklace like this, the door would flop open because this front door with the window was pretty heavy with it having that solid brass flower on there. So what I did is I curved this flower leaf part to make a hook so your book can close and latch. And then when you're wearing it normally, it's not gonna flip open. Now, if you open it, this is what it would like. It would hang like that if you had it open all the time. And I didn't want it to hang like that all the time, but I still wanted to give it the book function. So where you could close it and open it like a locket. So we're going to be doing that today too. I'm very excited to show you guys how to make that necklace. So I'm very excited. Hi Blenda, good to see you too. And Kathy joined in as well. Amazing, amazing. So let's get down to business. We're going to start off with the sailboat earrings first because they're super easy. And I do have complete kits for all of these as well. This one, unfortunately, has since sold out. I was limited on these massive crystals. And you're probably thinking, Corian, don't you have more of those? I do, but in the much smaller size. So unfortunately, I only had as many as what I could pack out for the larger size crystal to fit in that filigree. So let's start off with those sailboat earrings, and I'll bring the kit up. The sailboat earrings, you're going to get two pairs in the kit. You're going to be able to make two pairs of them. One pair wasn't quite enough to be able to sell it for a discounted price, so I did have to bump it to two pairs. Yes, that's the latch with the leaf end. So like this little part was folded over. I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, earring kit, two pairs, which you're gonna get a total of 24 pieces. Everything that you need to make these earrings plus another set will come in this listing. Ooh, there's one of my hairs. Let me get that off the screen. Cart 100. And what you're gonna get in the kit, you're gonna get 4 of these nugget circles. I love these nugget circles. You're gonna get 4 of those. Those are solid brass. You're going to get 4 of the natural brass windy sailboats. These are super cute. And you will also get 4 of those really cute natural brass anchors. And I know we showcase a solid brass blank anchor, but this one's cool because it's got some detail that's already added in there. So you'll get 4 of those. And then you'll get your ear wires, your shepherd hook ear wires, and then JRV 30s. Those are the jump rings. So you'll get 8 of the jump rings and then 4 of the shepherd hook ear wires to go with that. So everything you need to make these comes in this kit. And then I do have bulk packs available too. So we'll go through those as well. The paint color, I will not paint these on screen just because it's one paint color, but it is the sandstone color. So you could do the sandstone in the ultimate paint or pale tan in the one step antique line. And the construction's super easy, but let me get these bulk packs up. We'll put the nugget circle blank up first. That's cart 101, 14 pieces for $22. It's so textured and it looks like the moon. That's probably why I absolutely love it so much. So you can get that in a bulk pack, solid brass, 14 pieces for $22, cart 101. And then I do have a bulk pack of those boats. Get that up here. So for the windy sailboats, I have the lighter version. Oh, I almost tipped my pop over. Good thing I didn't. I have a lighter version and a darker version. In your pack, you will be getting all light or all dark. You will not be getting a mixture of both, but I did want to photograph them so you know that you're going to get one or the other. So if you have a preference, write that in the notes. If you would like the lighter version versus the darker version in your order, put it in the notes, or you can email me warehouse@vintage.com if you have a preference. Which I know some ladies do like their material much darker than what our this is like our normal brass color up here, and then some ladies do prefer the darker for etching, reliefing, so on and so forth. So just let me know if you do have a preference on the sailboat color. I think that's the only one that I have like the major quote unquote color difference. And then we'll bring up that anchor pack as well. This will be cart 103, 16 pieces for $20. And the back here is open. So you can put resin in there. It could act like a bezel. This is the front. Super cute. And we're getting into spring. Well, we are in spring and we'll be getting into summer here shortly. So I know a lot of people are going to be looking for pieces that have these components in them. So make sure you grab all that up. I think we went through all the bulk packs, and then construction, super easy. We're just gonna open and close some jump rings. You can paint your nugget circle whatever color you want. The color that I used is the sandstone in the paint line, ultimate paint line, and pale tan in the antique line. So we're gonna grab our JRV 30 here. We're gonna open that up. Oop, if I can grab it right. Maybe we'll do it with the sailboat on top so you guys can see what both look like. So in the original version, you'd be doing the anchor here, but we're gonna switch it up and do the sailboat. We're gonna close that up. And then down here, for the anchor, if you want it on the top part, I flipped my anchor so I could see the back. I took my hole punch pliers, kind of a little bit close them, but not enough to punch a hole, and drag it to the center until it hooks, and then punch your hole. That's going to give you perfect placement on both of those anchors. But let's see about where we can punch for this sailboat. I think I'm going to follow this line straight down and kind of punch it right in this area. So we're going to follow that line because I want it to stay center hanging. I'll say probably about there. We'll try. We'll try. Ooh, that looks like a good one. If I can get that flipped on the right side. Grab another one of those JRV 30s. Uncle Doug better be ready. We're going to be doing a trivia here real quick. I always like giving a little bit of a heads up. All right, string that JRV 30. We'll string that anchor there on the bottom. Let's close that jump ring. Beautiful. Now for this top part here, you're going to take your ear wire, I believe, yeah. So when I want to flip this loop, I'm gonna grab both sides of the loop with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to twist it so the loop is this way, and then I can open it, string my JRV 30 from the top, Close that. And then you have your sailboat earrings with your little anchor. So you can do it both ways, the anchor on top or the sailboat on top with the anchors, vice versa. And you could paint that to look like the moon with your anchor dropping out the bottom. That's so cute, you guys. So you can do it both ways. Love it. Well, obviously, yeah, both ways because you're getting two kits in the kit listing anyway. So you can do one version this way and the other version the other way. How smart. Love it. So cart 100 for the kits. You get enough for two pairs of these earrings. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me hop on over to these comments here and make sure I get caught up. What is that big crystal called? It is called the Swarovski Galactic Bead. And this is the largest size we have of it. I can't tell you off the top, actually. I mean, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I do have my caliper here. So let's get you a size, Pegs. We're going to say around 15.5 and then around, ooh, nope, I want this long, around 27. So 15.5 by 27 ish for the galactic bead. Not galactica, galactic bead for that crystal. I think that's the one you were talking about, Peggy. Hi, Lisa. Lisa joined in as well. Good to see you. Candy says she loves that necklace. I'm just going through these comments here quick. Okay. Let's bring Uncle Doug on here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And then we will be doing one of these today. This is the earring kit from last week. So one of this, and then we'll be doing two feather earring kits after. Go back to my comments here and see. Aw, Peggy. I'm sorry. Hopefully she gets well soon. That's neat, Cindy. Put your comment up there. Let me know whenever you're ready, Uncle Doug.
Oh, I'm just sitting here enjoying the show.
You're more than welcome to start whenever you're ready.
I was just watching what you're showing, what you're presenting there, and having a good time with it. You got some ear wires. Those look like what is that? That's
Oh, oh,
near
six.
006.
Yep.
Well, I hate to say anything, but we're getting very, very close on those ear wires.
I know. I don't even say anything because then they're gonna get held up, and then
I
it's just
know,
gonna
I
be
know,
not cool.
I know. But hopefully, we get some good news for you in the really near
Yes.
future,
Yes.
and that'll be exciting. All right, so I've had to listen to Peggy's suggestion about making doodles more in theme with our trivia. So that means our trivia has to be really simple. But the first question is this: what is the hardest natural substance on Earth? That's the first question.
Okay.
What is the hardest natural substance on Earth?
So this, Peggy, is the chessboard circle flatback. It is not 20 millimeter. This is the larger size. Let me just get like a size for you here while we're doing that. It's
So I'm
about
looking.
30 millimeters.
Everybody's pulling out their periodical charts or something like their Rockwell hardness testing. Someone's got to figure out this answer.
I have answers coming in.
Do you? I got. All
Yeah.
right.
You're gonna
I
have
have.
to refresh
I
your.
have to refresh. I don't know why it does that. It really shouldn't do that.
I know. I think it's doing it to everybody, like me, Jean, you.
Because then I can't really see the questions in real time. So I'm not seeing any over on YouTube yet. And let's see. I'll go up here. It looks like our first correct response comes from Jean.
Good job, Jean. She did diamond.
Winner, winner, Jean.
Woohoo!
So I probably should put her name on this doodle here.
Yes, sir. She's gonna be getting this cute little earring kit. Jean, you should hammer these little blanks. I think that would be adorable. Love it. All
All
right,
right,
let's see.
here's my first doodle.
Ready?
Well, I can't do it with the thing up there. Oh, there it is.
There's not a thing up there.
Oh, there it is. There's your diamond.
I love it. You're a diamond, Jean. A diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough, and I'm roughing the diamond.
Ooh.
All right, I will be over in a few.
Hey, bye. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Of course, Peggy. If you guys need anything else, you let me know. And I will try to get whatever information I can for you. All right. We're going to do this one next because I want to do both of my resin projects like one after the other. So we're not like having wet resin sitting out. Look at how beautiful that thing is. And I have to prop it up on a rock because, I mean, this, you can kind of tell. And then if I were to bring the chain back here, then the chain's completely hidden. So we're just going to stick her right there on that beautiful rock. Give you such a gorgeous look at that. And then we're going to bring up the bracelet kit for this, but it has sold out. So I'm only bringing it up because I need to know that I have brought that up. But we do have the filigree in bulk. So I am going to bring that up. This is the filigree pack, cart 105, natural brass filigree. You're going to need 2 pieces of this filigree for this bracelet. So this pack, you'll have one of these filigree left over, and you can make a beautiful necklace or a pair of earrings out of it to match your bracelet. So grab the pack if you don't have it. This filigree bracelet, once I move this thing, is absolutely stunning. It's probably because I got so many lights on over here. And yes. And then you're going to get that gorgeous chessboard, many facets. Swarovski crystal. That's like the sage color. And then you're going to get one of the tiny little flat backs. I'll just put that right on top of that crystal. Actually, probably not because you can't even see it. Get one of those flat backs for the center part there, just to add a little more kaboom. And you will also get the chain needed for this as well as that clasp. So this is that CH001 chain that is listed on the live shop site if you need it. I know a lot of people bought it last time because I've been using it in a lot of my designs. Okay, we need to get into how to make this. And first off, we need to hammer one of these. We're going to hammer it flat because I need a flat back for my flat back. Get it? Ha ha. Hardy har ha ha. Okay. Let's hammer her down. Remove the dap. Flip it over, hammer it back from this side. Lovely. Gorgeous. Now she's flat. No dap. Perfect for fitting this massive chunky crystal on there. And so you'll see this little, if I cover up like this area, you'll see this little flower that goes around like this. That is perfect size for this crystal, and that's kind of what I used to see if I could even wrap this into a bracelet. But look at that. Could you imagine just that on a necklace? Ah, it's so pretty. I love it, but that's not what we're doing. So we need to get into what we're actually doing. And I do need to double check here because I think at one point, one of these I did cut down pretty far. So we're going to take, was it my flat one that I cut? I did cut my flat one. Okay. We need to cut some of these stinkers off because what we're doing here is we're wanting to remove the back filigree that's attached where these are folding over. I didn't want it to be super, super chunky on the bottom. So removing two of those flaps with these flaps coming back over to cover it up worked really, really well. So I do need to make sure that I cut this in the right spots, but I need to keep my flower here. All right. Trying to remember where you cut something is hard sometimes too. That's why I like having my finished design here so I could look back at it and be like, okay, I did make those cuts where I thought I made them. I just want to be for sure. So I am going to take and follow, get my bead all here. You guys know that I follow like harder lines when I'm cutting things. So I know that I want to keep this flower. So I'm going to make sure that this hard line stays there. I'm going to keep this part probably into this swirl. So I'm going to start cutting up here and I'm going to make my way back over this way so I can take this chunk out above. So kind of like this flap is getting taken out up here. So I'm going to start here and we're going to chop that. I'm going to come in and get all of the little chops that I can that I know I need to do right away. And then I can come in and clean up later. Like if there's something that I forget to chop off or something that needs to be filed, I can do that after I do my major cutting. I'm going to keep that swirl for now because I can't remember if I did end up removing that or not. So we're going to keep it for now because I can always chop it off, but I can't necessarily put it back on if I haven't made that decision quite yet. All right, so there is one piece gone, one flap. So you can start to see this hard line that comes across. I'm probably going to take out these little nubbies too that are right next to the flower. And then all these little notches that are still sticking up, I can file those off. All right, now I need to do the one that's directly below it as well. So we're going to go above now. I like cutting from the top. So get into all those little notches there. And if you're not quite comfortable with like cutting yet, don't cut super fast. Make sure that you're cutting what you want to cut. Sometimes I'll fly by or fly through something. I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to cut that one. It was supposed to be the one that was right next to it. So go a little bit slower if you're unsure about where your cut line should be. Because there's a ton of different lines in filigree. So you just want to be extra sure. This one I forgot. There we go. That one. That one. And one more, I think. Okay. Now I got my two little flaps off there. And I'm going to get those little nubbies as well. Nice. Let me make sure. Maybe I did cut those off. We'll see once I get into the wrapping portion of it, but we need to file some of these down. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get any more of these Blenda in the 30 millimeter size. I do have the smaller size, which is the 20 millimeter, but I don't think that I'll be able to get any more of this unless I find them in misc bins. But I will try my hardest. If I'm able to, I will put this kit back in stock if I'm able. Do you have any more of the silver round open frame rosettes? I made teal blue earrings with them. They'd be perfect over that crystal. Are you talking about the hammered circle hoop, Lisa? That's silver? Like eight, is it H008 for the part number? I'm trying to think. Oh, good idea, Linda. She said you could mark your cut lines with a Sharpie before chopping. That's super smart. Hi, Candy. She says she's late to the party, but it's good to see you, beautiful. We're just we just chopped up some of our filigree and we're making a backing portion for our bracelet, and then we'll wrap the top portion over it. More of a filigree look, like a cathedral window. Hmm. Trying to think. But you said it's silver? Hmm. I'll keep thinking on that. So it's a little hard to like think about that while demoing, but I will be keeping that in my mind so I can see if I know which one specifically you're talking about. Okay. Thanks, Lisa. She's gonna tag me in DIY so we can get that sorted out for you. And try to find whatever pieces you guys are like really needing. Even if it's something we haven't carried in a long time, I'm like, I might be able to find that. It's not very often where I'm not able to find something unless it's like really just out of stock, out of stock. Okay, that's pretty good for now. Gonna stick that right in the center there. Looking good. And when you're done filing, kind of rub your finger over top of those spots. I did. I felt that. I was like, I need to file just a little bit more. Because if it hooks, it's too sharp. You just want your finger to glide right over them. Beautiful. All right, this one you also need to be careful while you're handling it because it can be difficult to wrap this. I did leave those, I think. Now that I'm looking at it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I did chop those. I'm just gonna chop them. If I need them, I'll let you know. But I'm looking at this thinking that I don't need them, so oh no. We're just gonna get rid of them. Because I think I can do it without these little notches there. Which I probably did end up taking these off in the original one, but sometimes it's hard to tell when your metals wrapped together. Get those little pieces there. Love it. Perfect. Okay. So this is the shape that we're ultimately going for. These are going to line up together. So like this portion, you're gonna lay it right over top and it should line up with the one that's underneath because it's the same part. This, we're gonna create a dap, a slight dap because this is domed. So you want to have a domed top. So we're gonna find the largest hole in our dapping set. And then we're gonna get that plunked down in there. But what I think I'm gonna do first though is I'm gonna hammer this out as well. And then I'm going to create that dap because it's slightly dapped right now. I don't need the original one. I need a new one. So we're gonna hammer that out a little bit. Nothing crazy. And then I'm gonna grab one of those. This goes with the set there. I don't necessarily want to show you my keyboard, but I do wanna I'll push that up some. Okay. Put that right in the center. And then go down. Oh, you guys. So you'll see that folding. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll flatten that back out in a moment. But Saturday, Ian took me to see the Killers of Kiltony comedy show in Davenport. And it was so fun. It was amazing. And Ian got on stage with Timmy No Breaks. And it was amazing. And I wish so what's really cool about Kill Tony and the Killers of Kill Tony, they don't allow phones or recording while you're in there. So everybody is off their phones, right? So one, it's super refreshing to see that when you're out and about. Nobody's on their phones. You don't see the phone lights in a dark room. But as much as I loved it, I hated it because I so badly wanted to get a picture of Ian up there with Timmy, no breaks. And I wasn't able to, but after the fact, we saw him by the merch table and we did get a photo with him. And he signed my David Lucas hoodie that I got. And I said, would it be frowned upon to have you sign David's, hoodie, his merch? Because he had like left or something. Like I couldn't find David to sign it. So Timmy No Break signs it and he puts David is fat on David's hoodie. And I'm like, you're such a bum. But that's just like the type of thing that he does. And then Ian got a Timmy No Break shirt and he wrote Ian is gay on Ian's shirt. So super, super funny. And that we got our stuff signed like that, but I thought it was hilarious. My little brother just tried to call me. Sorry, Caden. The one that's in town from Virginia. He's probably wanting to hang out. I'm gonna hurry up, dude. See if I can get this done faster than not so we can go hang out with him. That dap's looking really good. for the filigree now. So love that. We might have to push this down a little bit to like totally match it, but we're gonna start like this first. Yes. Gorgeous. All right. So now we need to fold in two of these sides here, the same flaps that we cut off on this up there. So we're gonna kind of hit in this position. So grabbing these two swirls and kind of pulling it up like that. We're gonna do that on the opposite side. So grab a swirl, and fold her up. These are the flaps that are going to fold back around the back and totally get this sucker secured. But you guys can probably see why I ended up taking off these flaps so I wouldn't double up the wrap over top of them. As I'm sitting here with my hands, like you know what I'm talking about. I talk with my hands a lot, so sorry. You guys are gonna have to deal. I am gonna flatten these back out just a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna flip that in upside down there. Get this flopped. So I'm gonna take the backing of this filigree and put it to the back of the crystal. So the front of the filigree's showing up on both the front and the back side. I might have to pull it out just a smidge. I think I pulled it up just a little too much. Hold on. I want to make sure that I have enough room to. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to squeeze it. You might hear like a little click. Oh, that's good. I might shove it over just a little bit. And I noticed I can take a bead awl and kind of maneuver this after it's been wrapped a little bit if you need to slide it over some. See it from this side and make sure my crystal's kind of in the position that I need it to be in. It's looking good. I am gonna shift this filigree over though. Once I'm done wrapping that, I'm gonna pull these flaps up and over the back. I want to get my tape wrapped up in there. And do that on the other side. It looks like I need to shift this. Might have to shift that after this other wrap side is done. I'm really just pulling it over. Probably could have shaved off a little more too, but you'll get it. I might take off my cardigan here because I'm getting sweaty. So you're gonna get the Corian, a tank top Corian today instead of a cardigan Corian today because now I'm starting to sweat under these beautiful, lovely inside lights. This one does get really hot though, and it's like, at me. Okay. That's looking good. Crystal's in place. I could probably shift it up. There we go. Just a little bit in there. But you can take your bead awl and use the leverage of the other lines to shift things. I do love that. All right, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to squish some of the top back down. So I didn't need like that big of a dap, but I wanted to ensure that I did get my crystal in that center spot. And then after, now we can squeeze that filigree down Get her super, super tight in there. I'm gonna create like a little bit of a bracelet bend on the sides to pull some of that filigree together. This one I might shift that way a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Much better. This one's off just a tiny bit on this side, but the other side's really good, so I don't wanna mess that up, but you can create a little bit of a illusion that it's the same by maneuvering some of that top filigree. Beautiful. Stretch a little bit more on this side down. Make sure our back's down again. And you slap her on your wrist and say, okay, I need to bend more on the bracelet side. So I'm going to kind of cuff it there. Oh, you guys, it's so pretty. It's huge. And I love it. This one's like a little more of like the brownie tone. And this one's more about the lighter tone. You can come in on either side if you have some longer pliers too. And cinch it in a little bit if you want it to be a little more narrow from top to bottom, which it looks like mine up there was a little more narrow. Um, does anybody want whoever got the kit and wants this, let me know. Because I did put I think 7 in stock because I had 7 crystals, but I just wrapped this one. So if you want a pre-wrapped crystal in the kit that you bought, let me know and we'll note that and you'll get the pre-wrapped one. Okay. Because this one I would love to give as a gift, but I wanted to make sure people could get it kit wise. Okay. I think that's all we needed for that one too. Okay, Jean wants the one that's pre-wrapped. Okay. I'm gonna put this in your diamond thing. That way I don't forget that you're the one that gets the pre-wrapped one. Amazing. So put that in there for now. I'll put that in the kit with the rest of the kit stuff, but amazing. Love it. I'll take that down. And I think, is Uncle Doug ready for a trivia? Okay, let's get him up here. Welcome back.
Yes, I'm here with more trivia.
We're going to do a feather earring kit. These feathers are pre-painted, pre-jumped ring. All you need to do is add them to the ear wires.
Okay. If you win, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what we can do about getting a good trivia question out here.
You have an echo over there.
Well, that's because I had to bring my thing up for comments.
Oh, okay.
And I had to mute you, and it just took too long. All right. Here's the question. Which bird lays the largest egg, not Peggy, in relation to its body size? Which bird lays the largest egg in relation to its body size?
Hi, Michelle, over on YouTube.
So you're going to have to help me over there, Corey, because I keep having to refresh Facebook to see the comments.
Yeah. I know. Okay. You showed me the doodles yesterday. I know the answer for this one, so when the correct answer for this one comes through, I'll let you know.
I've got one over on YouTube.
YouTube comments haven't popped up for me yet.
Yeah, I've got an answer over on YouTube. I've got a wiener over on YouTube.
Oh, is Debbie? I see her. She just popped in now.
Ooh, the ostrich. Yeah, that was a good guess. Ostrich, osprey. Some of these are good guesses, but the answer is kiwi.
Good job, Debbie. It's in relation to its body size. So, yes, ostrich eggs are huge, but ostriches are also huge.
So now I
Good
gotta
job, Debbie.
get my winners up here, and then get my doodled for
Yes.
Debbie here. Shouldn't take me too long since I
Make sh-
pre-doodle.
make
Since
sure
Peggy said I should
you
pre-doodle differently.
yes. Make sure you have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com and I will ship that to you in your order, Debbie. But it's good to see you over there on YouTube as well. All right, well, Doug's doing the doodle over there. This is our next up bracelet. So to give you something to look forward to. And then after this bracelet, we'll do the flower resin door necklace.
Okay, I'm ready with my doodle.
Okay, ready for you.
I'm ready already.
It's so cute.
There's the little kiwi. Debbie,
Amazing.
good job.
Debbie
Congratulations.
Johnson. Yep. Super fun. Okay, we're
Alrighty.
knocking you off. Bye. Okay, you guys, I love this bracelet. Okay, this piece specifically, you guys know I've used this several times, a few different ways. This is probably one of my all time favorite little charms. I love it. It's stunning. It's too beautiful. We need to add those to retail and wholesale because I don't think they're on either, but they're so pretty. Speaking of which, I have news for you guys. So I have had Kieran on a task today and, for a couple more days as he goes through it, but he is going through all of my backstock items, everything in this room, and he's saying, is this on wholesale and retail or is it not offered yet? And he's going to create that list. He's pulling samples. We're going to ship out this big shipment to Jean saying these are like add to web things. So she can pick through them and say, like, this is what I want to curate for the week. These are the new items that we're uploading. So hopefully we'll be pretty consistent with some new things coming up on the web as well. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I think I have a really good idea for you, Kieran. And it's going to help us out tremendously. We're going to get so many like new things up on the web and running for you guys to buy. Um, but yeah, he goes, Corian, look at this like bag of stuff this was just on one shelf that we don't have listed anywhere. So yeah, we're gonna have a whole bunch of new things just rolling in for you guys. But I was like, this would be a good task for Kieran, not me, because I don't want to do it. It is, but it's gonna be worth it for sure. Okay, I need to bring up this kit, you guys. Everything that you need to make this kit comes in this kit. Cart 106, 25 pieces for $20. You're going to get 4 of those ancient coins that I was talking about as being one of my absolute favorite charms. I also have a bulk pack of this, and we'll bring that up in a moment. But you will get 4 of those in this kit. You're going to get 3 of these open work ovals. These are also super great for framing, and that's kind of why I used the frog and some resin with it, because I wanted to showcase that. You're going to get 3 of these frogs. I also have a bulk pack of this too. The frogs are so stinking cute. Hold on. It's got to focus. There we go. Oh, I was like, it just had it. It was right there. So cute. And then you're going to get those little flat backs there as well. You'll just glue those with Loctite in the center where that little circle is. And then you'll get some CH30 chain. You're going to get a little bit more than what you see here for your chain, just in case you have a larger wrist than I do. But you will be getting a little bit, probably like 6 inches of this chain instead of what, 4 lengths? Yeah. That way you guys are able to curate it how you need to for your wrist size. You're going to get your JRV 30s. Those are the jump rings that are separating in between. The CH30 here, it is unsoldered, so you can open and close those links, so it's a direct connection. And then we did use some of these infinity jump rings there at the ends to connect the JR40 to the CH30 as well as the CL0003 clasp to the CH30. So you'll get everything you need to make this kit, plus a little extra chain in case your wrist is a little bit larger. Totally cool, totally fine. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's body's beautiful. But let's get into the resin work of this. This is probably the more difficult part of it. And if you have any ideas about how to do this differently, go ahead and put those in the comments. You will probably want a Dremel for this. I did it my way with just a bead awl, which you can do. But it makes it look a little more organic, more vintage and rustic because it's not a perfect hole. You'll see here when I bring it up in a moment. So one of them, I was able to do a perfect hole. I did not have Corian Dremel these. I wanted to see if I could do it with just a bead awl. Now this one turned out perfect here, but you know, this one broke a little bit more. These ones are a little more open, but it definitely makes it look more vintage, and I like that anyway. I like that look more. So it's like, ooh, this is a super old but freaking cool bracelet. I love it. So you use a Dremel if you want the perfect hole. If you're not, um, if you don't need that specifically, then just do the bead all like I do. Otherwise, I'm sure you could do, you could probably put like an eyelet on on either side. Um, Prior to filling your resin, so it gives you that perfect hole and the eyelet security. Now that I'm like thinking about it a little bit more about how it could be done differently, but I'm just going to show you how I did it. And somebody should test out that eyelet thing in the resin and see if that works, because you'd use it with the resin tape, and now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, it seems like that would work. I don't need a whole lot of this tape. I just need, oh, is my resin tape not gonna, there it goes. All right, so a little bit of that resin tape. I'll put our open oval on it. One side's sticking, the other side's not. So you're gonna put your metal part on the sticky side, and then you can come on the back and make sure that it's stuck all the way down where you need it to, so it won't leak out the sides. I just do that with my nail. All right. I'm gonna take our resin here, and you can do it either way again. And put just a little bit of resin oh, I need to open this. I forgot to grab a new bottle. So I ran out of resin. Um, these new bottles are always the freaking hardest to open. Okay, so just use chain nose if you're looking to open your resin. And then after you do take that seal out, do not let your resin sit horizontally because it will make its way out of the cap if you do that. So leave your resin upside, like right side up. Don't tip it over unless you're like doing it like this and then putting it straight back up again. Put a little bit of a larger sampling there. I will put this frog right over top, but I need to get rid of the loop that's on there. So get rid of the frog loop. We're not chopping any of the frogs, so the frogs stay in the frog. We're just getting rid of the loop for all you ladies that accuse me of ruining all of our like dragonflies. Like, you're cutting off the dragonfly wing. Why? Because you guys know I love just chopping things up. I'm going to kind of because this is a open back here. It is a more dap piece. So I'm going to lay it on top of this bubble of resin there before I because I want it to kind of like come up into it. After the fact, when we peel it back off, we can flip back over the whole piece together and then refill the backing with resin. This way just worked for me. That's what I'm gonna do. And it might trap some air in there, which I'm totally okay with because I could after the end, after I'm done here, um refill the back with resin once I flip it over and have it cured on either side. I do need to add a little bit more on this side. I didn't want my whole frog coated in resin, so I did just put it off to the sides there. I'll let that fill up. That looks like it's doing a pretty good job at getting all those bubbles out. I don't want to overfill either, so I'm going to push some of this resin over myself and move it around a little bit. That's looking pretty good. Let's take that heat gun and we're just gonna lightly go over it with some heat to get whatever bubbles may be kind of there out. I just saw one pop, so that's good. Amazing. Get that UV light out, and I'm gonna slide that to cure. And then as that's curing, I need my little spatula. I have one over here. It's seen. As that's curing, we will get our paint ready for that. I used hematite or gunmetal. Hematite in the ultimate paint, gunmetal in the antique. So that's put into the UV light now. I might not have that color over here, so I think I'm gonna change it up and do mermaid fin as the paint color. You guys know I like changing up the paint colors while we're demoing, but I really think this would be super beautiful behind it as if it's like in water. And then you can paint your frogs like green or something too if you really want. Awesome, Deborah. She's got all of these parts except for the rings. So all you have to do is buy that bulk pack for those open work rings. Speaking of which, thanks for reminding me. Let's get these bulk packs up. So we're going to do the coins first since our frog is in the middle of curing. The bulk pack for the ancient coin, cart 107, 14 pieces for $20. I freaking love this piece. I love it. You guys go look at the inspo pictures for the other things I've done for those on vintageliveshop.com. everything like inspo pictures, dimensions, metals, metal plating, so on and so forth. All that information should be in there along with part numbers if we're able to, or if we do have a part number for it. So make sure you grab those ancient coins. And then our next bulk pack is that frog pack, cart 108, natural brass frog, 10 pieces for $20. So cute. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to get rid of me for a sec. How stunning is that frog? So cute, so beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it. So you can get 10 of those for 20 bucks, cart 108. And then those open rings that Deborah's talking about that she needs for this, I do have a bulk pack of those as well. Cart 109, 20 pieces for $20. The open work natural brass oval frame ring. So pick that up as well. I went vertically with mine. You can also do them horizontally if you want them to be horizontal across. Your frog could go horizontally. Curious, would it have enough? Ooh, you could even do it horizontally with your frog. If you took the loop off, you could do it like that too. I didn't even think about that. So it will fit if you take the loop off and shave it down just like a tiny bit. So you could have it vertically or horizontally, whichever position you'd rather it be in. Let's take this frog out here. That's looking really good. I am going to, however, turn it around. I'm going to stick it back in there upside down just to make sure that I have some of that back, the back of that frog cured underneath. Let's see. I think those are all the bulk packs I have for this bracelet. What is the clear plastic? Christine. Are you talking about this? This is, like Peggy said, this is resin tape. So it's sticky on one side, not sticky on the other side. It's great if you're doing open work things because you can just unstick it and then you can stick your metal pieces to it and then your resin's on there. And if somebody wants to put the vintage Amazon list in there, I believe this resin tape, I think Jean added this resin tape to our vintage Amazon list. If you're curious about the resin tape that I do use here, of course. But it's so helpful when you're working with resin. And then here you can watch as I pull this off. It's like some of my resin under the frog's still a little wet and I can pull that bubble out of there. Oh yeah. There you go. Woo! I'm just knocking all sorts of things over. And then your frog is framed and your resin tape comes off of the resin really well. I'm pretty sure, I think I just clicked into that link yesterday and I saw resin tape in there that looked like this. So I'm like 99% positive it is there. But it just makes doing open work stuff so much easier having that resin tape. I love, 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 love using it. All right. Now, on the back, I did have a little bit of resin that needs to be cured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove this back under the light for a moment because the resin tape can block it a little bit, so it'll cure faster without the resin tape. So if you get your initial curing done where you only just need a little bit left, then I would just stick it back under the light for, I don't know, like 30 seconds or so, and that should complete the rest of that. We're going to need a silicone brush, my dears. So grab one of those and then you'll need your heat gun as well. We're going to paint, and you could leave the back of the frog clear too if you wanted to, but we use the hematite / gunmetal color depending on which paint line you're using for the backs of the original. We're going to do the mermaid fin for the back of the little one that we're doing right now. Okay, amazing. Jean just put a link in the comments there if you want to go check out the resin tape that I use. Thank you so much. But I love it. I love using it. All right, let's check on our frog here. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit maybe to unclog it first. Stick a head pin in there. You grab a little bit of paper. Actually, you don't even need a silicone brush for this. Kidding. Kidding. You know what I did? I took some paper towel like I always do because I'm lazy and I don't like cleaning out brushes, but this technique works super well for this anyway. Then we just gotta put it on our paper towel. Oh my goodness, do I need to unclog this even more? I think I do. I probably have some pigment that's not totally mixed up yet in there that's clogging it. Okay. Let's pour some. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for, baby. All right, and then we're just gonna go on the back. Grab your heat gun. Helps if you do it at the same time. Then it can dry, and then the paint can start to adhere a little bit better. I'll take that down. Do some more on my paper towel. Oh, I flipped it upside down there. You can bring it up a little bit too. I'm just gonna paint my thumb wrap. I'll probably do another layer here in a sec. Yeah. I'm gonna take a second to try that. Yeah, I think my pigment is definitely too thick right now in my mermaid fin because it keeps clogging. So I should probably shake that up a bit more. Right. Make sure I get the back super saturated. And you can look at it from the front too and say like, oh, do I need some more? That looks pretty good. I do really like the metallics. Even though their pigment is just so thick. Yeah, see, it's not even. Once again, let's unplug it. But that's what you get for using high quality pigments. You always have to shake, get them separated. They're heavy pigments too. So they settle pretty dang fast. All right, this should be my last splotting layer. Okay, we'll work with that. Make sure you dry that. What about the connector holes on the sides of the resin pieces? Did you make the holes before or after it's cured? I made the holes after I cured mine. So what I was suggesting, if you want to do it before, let me grab an eyelet here. I was just thinking about this, Marietta. So thanks for bringing that up again. But I was thinking you could take an eyelet and stick that eyelet down on your resin tape as well. So for instance, I have another open one of these. I do. So I would stick this down on your resin tape. You can try this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but you can stick your eyelets down. I have another one here on the resin tape with your frog, potentially if they're, not too big, or you could do one or the other, or just use a Dremel. You can use a Dremel to drill your holes, but you could stick them down like that. And then if you want like your metal intertwined in there. Otherwise, it looks like Vintage is saying some ladies use silicone hole plugs to use in their resin. So you do it either of those ways, I'm guessing. I don't know if the eyelet trick will work, but I'm curious, so I might try that. Not today, but a different day. Anyhow, so for how I got my holes through my resin, is I took this block here because I can stick a bead awl in there and it's not going to really do anything. It's just going to create a little hole. Oh, by the way, this is the difference between the gunmetal and the mermaid fin. Either or, stunning. But I took my piece and I need to straighten this out a little bit. My bead awl. I positioned my bead awl. And I did this like right after I cure it, just in case the resin is still um, just a little wet on the inside, which might, oops, sorry, my hair, might make it a little bit easier. But I came in and just twisted my bead awl through. You'll notice I'm stuck in the rubber now. Pull that out. Oh, look at that. That one was a perfect hole. We'll see if we can do it again. But I do it right next to the frame, so it's less likely to crack on the inside. You have to use a little bit of hand power for this, ladies. There we go. You don't even need a Dremel. You don't need to do your silicone plugs either for this one. For thicker pieces, I would say absolutely. This one's pretty thin, so this one's easier to stick your bead all through. But look, 2 perfect holes. Love it. Okay, Peggy has a resource for the silicone hole maker. So she uploaded that link or commented that link for you ladies. Thank you for doing that, Pegs. You're such a sweetheart. But yeah, so I just took my bead awl. Let me give you a better, sorry if this is a little yucky up there. So I just take my bead awl, push it onto wherever I need the hole. I hold it like this, so this is in my palm, and I press down and twist until I feel it in the rubber block, and then I pull out. That way you're not damaging like your surfaces and stuff, but that worked out super well for this if you don't want to buy any additional tools, but just know that you can do it with just a bead awl. We love that. Okay. And then you will glue that chaton there, center hole, to add a little bit of bling. And you will here. So I noticed that this hole here, hold on. We need to zoom in here. Okay. This hole, I needed to go directly below. Now you'll notice that this hole is in between this little circle and this little circle up here. So I'm going to use that visual down here because there's that little circle and the little circle. So sitting right in between those two, flip it over. I will hole punch this one. And you'll see right here, this is where you want to punch, and that'll give you directly below where you need to be, and it'll keep it even. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That's a little tip. And then you'll take your jump rings. Where Where's mailer pliers here? Open sesame. You might need to make your resin just a little bit, hole a little bit larger. Oh, that fit. That fit perfect. I'm gonna slide that ancient coin on. Closing that jump ring. Voila. There's your start. Glue your chaton. I'll get that in the right spot there. And then you are going to follow that all the way to the ends. So you're just going to repeat frog, ancient, ancient, frog, frog, ancient, ancient. And then your CH30 chain directly connected to your coins with your JR40, clasp, and 2 infinity rings. That's all for that one. Oh, thanks, Vintage. Aunt Jean just put Peggy's link in, commented by her, so then it's a link that you guys can actually just click and then directly go to that area. Love it. All right. Is Uncle Doug ready for a trivia then? Okay. Thanks, Jean. She says she loves it. Welcome back. And remember, anybody that spends over $100 on vintageliveshop.com gets a free goodie of something that I've made or some like leftover demo pieces, so on and so forth. And don't forget too, if you spend a minimum of $50 on the retail site, you get this pendant kit. So make sure you're spending at least $50 on the retail site so you get this pendant. It's so
Did you put
cute.
resin on that?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty cool. It has kind of a thick, rounded look to it.
Yeah, that's the original, and then this is the
Yeah, likey.
painted one. Thanks.
Very
All
nice.
right.
Very nice. Very nice. Indeed. All right. I
Okay.
guess we're looking for another trivia question, aren't we?
Yep, and then we're gonna do those same green earrings one more time. Because I think that's the last kit I have of those. So we're gonna be doing the green feather earrings again.
Okay, you're going to have to be quick to the draw on this one.
Okay.
Everybody's got to be really quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Question is, what is the capital of Canada? What is the capital of Canada? I know we got at least one person over on the YouTube side who should know this.
Don't forget to love react to the live demo for a chance to win the big loot giveaway. I did show that earlier, but I am going to give a preview very quickly while we're waiting for these answers to come in. I don't have like a lot of space here, but here we go. It's
Oh,
big loot giveaway.
I got to see your side. I think we had our winner pretty quickly over here on YouTube, and I expected it. I expected that.
Make sure you get your love reactions in, ladies, for a chance to win this giveaway.
And if you hadn't won this one, Amanda, I would have been really disappointed. Although, I mean, there's a lot of people who could. Oh,
Amanda
wow.
over on YouTube?
Yeah, she got it first, and then Kathy was shortly after it over here on Facebook.
Good job, Amanda. We'll add this to your horde of orders we're holding over here.
Yeah, we're holding those orders until the Royal Mounties can come collect them.
I know. We have one more month, which I'm going to pull this next month early so I can get your order shipped out to you, Amanda. I think I'm going to pull this one like 2 weeks in advance so we can get yours shipped to you.
Yeah. Hey, so we need some geography lessons over here on the Facebook side, but we did have several correct answers on the Facebook side too. But
Whoop whoop.
again, the answer was Ottawa.
Good job, Amanda. We'll add this to your stack. And then I'll make sure to pull this next stash early so we can get you your stuff sooner than later. For sure. Because I know you're eager to get some of those kits you bought. Like, what was it? Last month? Of course. Okay.
Well, wait.
Uncle Doug's gonna get his doodle ready for you guys. What? Did you think I forgot?
Yeah, I thought you were like moving on.
No, I'm
Okay, let's
rushing
get done with
you.
this.
I'm
All
rushing
right,
you.
I got my. I had to add a little bit of something to the back of it. Oh,
Canada.
oh, Canada. There you go, Amanda.
Love it. Oh, well, perfect, because that's where she lives. You probably already said
Yes,
that, and I just wasn't paying
yeah,
attention.
that's what I was talking about. People
Yeah,
over on the YouTube side, you better be able to answer this question.
that's so funny. Yeah,
Can my
you
gift
better
be
know that
sent
one,
with my
Amanda.
backstage pass? So Amanda wants to know if it can be sent with her backstage pass. Of course.
Yes, 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 yes. I have all of your orders held together. I'm gonna pull the next backstage pass, this coming one, or and then we'll ship you yours. And then Debbie, yes, I can put your gift in your backstage pass order. That's fine. That is fine because that is an open order, and I guess I did say that. All right. We're gonna hop Uncle Doug off and we're gonna get into this floral necklace. Amazing. Okay. I'm excited for this one. I am. Let me get this rock out of here now that we've done our other one. Gotta move my beautiful curtains and put that up there. Okay. Ugh, this one's gorgeous. And you guys better give me all the love reactions for this one because I whatchamacallit, challenged myself with this one. Oops. So I painted grow on the inside, and then I did it to where you could see the back of the flower coming out that way. And then we did the front with the crystal, some resin to encase the flower, and then this little tab here is the flower leaf, which holds the two blanks together if you don't want it open. Otherwise, you just kind of like shift your blank a little bit, and then voila, she opens. But so cute. Oh, I love that. I love it. It's so fun. We love interactive jewelry where we can like play with it and it's got some sort of purpose instead of just being on your person. Okay, let's get these blanks out, my dears. And I do have them over here. So, first of business. This one's your favorite, Sherry? Thanks. This one was the hardest one that I did because I just didn't know quite what I was doing until I finished it. So I appreciate that. I have everything to make this one. Oh, good, Deborah. That makes me so happy. Thanks, Debbie, over on YouTube. She said it's so cool looking. Okay. So these are the door blanks that I'm talking about. Let me pop up this kit first. Everything that you need to make this necklace comes in this kit. Don't worry. I know I don't have finished ends on this one, but you will be getting finished ends on your necklace that's coming in the kit. So you will get a sterling silver plated finished necklace. It's got your two links and a clasp there. So that will be the top part. It does come with the Swarovski galactic bead, which is that crystal, that massive crystal there. Then we're gonna send you some of this twisted copper coated wire. You guys can see the texture there and what I mean by twisted. So that's coming with, you're gonna wrap your crystal with that. you will get a set of the door blanks here. So you'll have the front door with the window and then the back door part. So you add your jump rings there and it can open and close. Lots of different things you can do with that. And I just think it's unique. I really do like that. And then you will also be getting one of our solid brass flowers, which I've used this a ton too. It's one of my favorites. Now, when I first was doing this, I I cut this up pretty good. I cut this top off, I cut here, and then I laid the flower, I resined that together in the center there. Um, because like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna do with this. So I tore this apart, but then I pieced it back together when I resined everything. So we might just keep this in one piece. It just depends if it's gonna work or not, which I think it will. I am going to test it this way and see if it'll work without doing any of the cutting, which it looks like it will. So I'm not too worried about it. But I had like a total different idea and then it just wasn't that idea-ing. So I pieced it back together and just put resin over it. But I do like the look of it. But I think I'm gonna do a different color. So this is that hematite slash gunmetal color. Um, Green looks really good with gold, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do maybe scarab wing for which is also metallic green for this one. Yeah, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. I need resin tape once again. Just get right into it. Right into it. I'll make a little slit. I don't know where my skizzers went. I don't need like a huge chunk by any means. Let's start with our open door. We'll get back to our back door here in a moment. That's the easier part, and I'd rather work on this when this is curing. So we're gonna be efficient with our time here. Get that stuck down nice and good. Come around the edges with your nail. Make sure you don't have any spots where the resin could get out, at least from the back. Nice. That's looking pretty smushed down to me. Okay. Now, I'm going to maybe trying to think about this here, ladies. All right, I'm going to do a layer of resin first in the center. It's okay if it's a little bit more than what the circle entails because we're going to be putting the flower over top of it anyway. I'm going to take a silicone brush, push this around a little bit so at least meets the sides. And when I put the flower on, I am expecting it to come out of the circle, but I first want to make sure that I'm all the way in the circle there. And then after the top cures, I will flip it over and cure the back before taking the tape off because it's not the resin underneath the flower will not cure because it's behind the flower. But if I flip it upside down under the UV light, it will cure the back. So we're going to set this right on that resin, kind of let it pull a little bit. And I'm going to shift it where I want it. Make sure I have enough to fold this over if I need to. I am going to bend this leaf in a little bit more though, because I don't need that much room. Okay. That's looking good. I'm gonna squeeze that down here. I don't want to put too much air in there, but I want to make sure everything's covered. All right. I'm going to cure this right now before I add any more resin to it. So we're going to start curing that. While that's curing, we're going to hammer the crap out of this blank. You're going to want your 4-ounce hammer with the rounded side. Have your rubber block and your steel bench block. Okay. I guess both sides are a little rough looking. Okay. I use the bigger one. Where's my bigger hammer? I'm gonna use the bigger hammer because this is a larger piece. I think this rounded side's a little more pointy than the one that I have on my office. 'Cause the one in my office was making a little bit bigger divots. Do not fall over. Resin. We're gonna put my resin to keep it straight up. Sometimes I'll stick it inside the resin tape like that. So in case I am hammering or something, it doesn't fall over. It's looking pretty good. Can reflect it off the light to see if there's any more spots you need to get hammered down, depending on how hammered you want it to look. That's probably pretty good there. I'm gonna flip it over, hammer it flat, because those edges do like to pull up. I'll take some of this, bring some color out of there. I love those relief blocks. Yeah, that's looking really cool. This is why this is a perfect example as to why some ladies prefer their um brass to be much darker than our typical color, like this. See the difference? This one shows up more vibrantly when you relief or emboss it or etch it versus the lighter toned brass. So that's why we get special requests for darker brass. Oh man, that looks really cool. Does it not? Doesn't it? I shouldn't say does it not. Doesn't it? It does. That looks really cool. Love that. You can relief the back a little bit too if you want, or you can just keep it dark. But I like bringing out those textures. Here we go. So back and front. Voila. Looking good. I'm bringing up that door blank set now. You're going to get 16 pieces. You're going to get 8 fronts and 8 backs. So 8 with the window. Let me bring that back out. Oh, man, I am just knock it over everything over here. So you'll get 8 of the window. Oh my goodness. I'm losing it. And then 8 of the back for the bulk pack for $20. So you're gonna get 8 sets, 16 pieces for $20. Cart 111 natural brass. And then that resin should be cured here pretty dang close. But I'm gonna flip it over so the back can start curing. And then I took sandstone and did it, but I'm gonna do it with the green so I can match the colors. Metallic green slash scarab wing, depending on what line you're using. I just did a direct just a quick little thing like that. And then after you let it dry just a little bit, which I probably could have put my G up a little higher. Actually, I wonder, let me do that. Let me restart this. Hold on. Get that paint out of there. I'm gonna redo that. Paint came out a little bit faster than what I was anticipating. I'm gonna take this big clump of it off. That will probably help. G R O W. All right. So there's a little bit of bubbles in there. I can probably pop those with the heat gun. We'll see. Ooh, I'm just getting some of those bubbles quick. I have to use like a dry thing. If it's got paint on it, it will not pop the bubble. So you need to make sure that your whatever you're using to pop the bubble is dry with no paint on it. Oh, it's getting windy out there. Hey, smokes. Careful while handling your metal after you heat gun it because it might get pretty hot. So there's our grow. Let's see how our beautiful flower is doing over here. I'm just kind of touching it here, seeing how hard the resin is. That's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, if I do may say. So I'm probably gonna switch this out onto a larger surface, probably. But now that I have my spot, I'm gonna come in. I'm just gonna clip that stem off. The leftover stem. You could fold it if you wanted to. Make sure you round that out. Where's my saying where's my, like, you guys will know where I put my file, but you can round that out a little bit. And you can hammer you can hammer this blank too. The only reason why I didn't is because it's going to be covered up with the resin paint anyway. I did want to make that known. Okay, that's pretty good for the flower stem. Just make sure sharp pieces. That feels good. All right, let's see how our flower is doing here. I don't want to pull too hard because the only thing that's holding it right now is the flower part. Okay, that seems good. Oh yeah, she's cured. Amazing. All right, now we need to go all the way to the edges, but I'm gonna try and bend this first. I did this after I did all my resin work, but you might want to do it beforehand. Oh yeah, do it beforehand because you might. I just cracked a little bit of resin there, but that's okay because I'm doing a whole nother layer of resin anyway. Oh, this one's a little harder to bend too. So either pre-bend or bend before you do your final resin pour, I should say. Okay, that should be pretty good. If I need it if I need it any more than this, I'll do it after the resin. All right, I'm gonna stick that under the light so I can get whatever that was cured up. And I said scarabling for this one. So where did I put that? We're gonna keep that out. And then that's looking better. Let's get the rest of our resin on this baby. I will probably do more tape here. Maybe cut off a bigger section. Because I'm just doing this in case my paint pools or my resin pools over the edges. And if you do your original resin tape this size, then you shouldn't have to do it again. You can just keep that first one on. Okay. Oh, my finger's getting stuck to it. Not that this matters too much. I'm just gonna go around the edges to, let's say, not get back behind the piece, even though resin back there isn't really a big deal. Okay, now we're gonna go all over our piece. Try and keep it with your blank or on your blank as much as you can. This is a little bit more resin than what you probably normally are using on a piece. This is going to give it that really cool artistic look with like that bubbly floral encased. Kind of like it kind of looks like a fossilized flower a little bit, which I thought was pretty neat. If I do may say, push some of this into here. Ooh, that wind is howling. If you do get a little bit of resin off of the side, you can always file that down as well. But I like to come all the way to the edges, and I like using the silicone brushes with resin because it's really easy just to clean these off. Bristle brushes, oh, don't even get me started on how difficult resin is to get out of them. All right, I'm gonna do little coats on top of the flower now, just dragging some of that resin up. Make sure that I have it on top of the stem. Have it on top of the leaf, both leaves, flower, little petals up here. Just make sure there's a little bit on there. Make sure this is jug around the corner. All right, we're looking pretty good for resin. And we'll pop this into the light, the UV light. I do have that flower pack in bulk too. I'm popping that up right now. Cart 112, 7 pieces for, what does that say? $22 for this solid brass flower. Let's get this into the, oop, hold on, not yet. I saw a little reflection of where I didn't have resin. So I like seeing it against some light because then it'll show where I have and have not put resin. And you'll maybe want to use your heat gun a little bit too, just in case there's some like hidden bubbles in there. Definitely the low setting, not the high setting. Okay. Looks like I do have a little pulling off to this side, maybe a little bit off there, maybe a little bit behind this flower, but like I said, we can file that off. That's going into the light to cure. I'm gonna do a little bit more with this grow here and just do a little bit of reliefing to it. Not a lot, but I don't need the grow super thick or super vibrant. I kind of like it as a like a hidden message. Love that. A little grow. This is, you can also get this in natural brass too. I do have an option for that. But I think this solid brass looks really good over the dark natural brass. Or 112, 7 pieces for $22. All right, while that's curing, let's get into the crystal wrap for this. So you're gonna untangle or unspool, unravel your wire. We're gonna come down a good section of it. If we want larger loops, I think maybe this one was like a 4. So I'm gonna hit it right on the 4 here. I'm gonna bring up the tails so they're crossing. And then I'm gonna take this little tail end and I'm gonna wrap it, and we're gonna create a wrapped loop on one side. Pull it nice and tight, get some nice looking coils. I don't really need any more than that. So I think the three coil looks good. I am gonna squish these coils in just a little bit though. There we go. And a little bit of space there. Clip that tail. Tuck the tail. Nice. I'm gonna probably straighten out my loop there too. Slide your crystal on. Looks good. Go back over to your numbered loop pliers. We're gonna come down to that 4 mark again. And then put our pliers right up next to that crystal. And we'll go down a little bit just so we can make sure that we have enough room for our coil. I'm gonna bring that around so we can crisscross these. I'm going to position it up a little bit. Still at that 4. And we're going to coil this tail. I think I did 2 on one, 3 on the other, on the original. These coils might be a little wonky. Get them squished up a little bit here. Okay. I'm gonna pull that out just a little bit and then clip that. And then I'll tuck whatever tail's left over. All right, I think our flower is just about done here in the UV light. One of these is going to be vertical and one's going to be horizontal. So I'm going to take this one. This is my least favorite one. I'm going to make that the vertical. Yeah, looks nice. That looks nice. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's see what we're working with here. We're a little bit sticky. Not like super sticky, but it is a little bit of a thicker resin project. I think I'm gonna have to pull this and get whatever's cured on the bottom side. Okay. Probably stick this upside down in your lamp. Just for a little bit in case there's any of that resin that's coming out. Hi, Sherry. You're getting your hair touched up? I love that. I'm getting my hair done this weekend, I think, at 10 a.m. I'm getting it, my roots fixed. Though it's really not showing up here, which that makes me really happy, but my roots are like 7 months worth of growth, like this long, and my hairdresser was like, I need to fix that. I'm like, okay, I'll come in on Saturday. I really love that wire a bunch too, Jean. Okay, we're looking pretty good. This isn't as sticky as what I thought it was. I think we're looking really good on the edges. Nothing that's like standing out to me that says, hey, I need this filed or clipped off. If you do need to do that, it's not a big deal, but I think we're looking really good on the edges here. All right, grab some paper towel and grab your scarab wing. I'm gonna do that same technique I did earlier. And we're just gonna paint right over our resin. Just by dapping it on. Now in the spots that you want less paint, you move to a different portion of your paper towel and go a little spinny over the flowers. So that shows up a little bit better. Do a little spinny by the leaves. So those show up a little bit better. Use a little bit of acetone too if it helps. Yeah, if you don't like catch yourself needing to do it right away, which looks like I need to clean up my background a little bit. I need to bring my silicone mats back out. Yeah, she's looking good. Beautiful. I think I'm gonna take maybe a little bit more of this scarab wing. Not a whole lot, but I'm gonna come in around the bottom area, kind of like frame it in a little bit. Make it really look like that flower is just coming through. And that way you don't add like too much paint, and you can always, if you do, you can just wipe it. All right, that's looking pretty good. And then what I'm gonna do now, I do have a little exposed metal here, so where's my relief block? Up here. I'm gonna come in just a little bit on top of those exposed parts with the relief block. Just so it gets like really bright in those areas. Your scarab wing. And then you take some JRV 30s, I believe, are what's coming in the kit. So let's open some of those up. And you could do like whatever color you wanted to on top. You could do the hematite, the scarab wing, um, purples, blues, like the mermaid fin, I think would be absolutely stunning over top of this. Remember, somebody's gonna get this one in their order that's over $100. Make sure you place your orders. Did you know? I think if you buy each of the kits, it's like under $100. It's like $90, I think, for all the kits. And then just take 28 off of that because you're not gonna be able to buy the bracelet kit anymore. So what the heck? You need to buy all the kits and then some bulk packs because they're so reasonable and they're super fun. And everything you need to make it comes with it. Now this is the little bit of a challenging part. I might have to bring that in a little bit, and I'll show you. I'll show you what I was dealing with beforehand. So let me grab another JR20 here so I can hook up the crystal and then show you guys the problem that I ran into that I needed to fix by using the leaf as the hinge. And then we should be pretty dang close to being done. Oh, there's one over here. I was like, where's another JRV 30? Okay. This little thumb wrap here has been making it difficult to grab things like out of bags, and it's probably really gross now. Yeah. I mean, it's not gross, it's just painted. Okay. That's the problem that I was dealing with. Yeah, right there. But hold on. Hold on. So I was working on it like this, and I got everything pieced together. I'm like, all right, I'm like so excited to see what this looks like when it's up. And I lifted it up and it swung open. I was like, oh, how in the world am I going to keep that closed? And I couldn't even, I mean, I thought, so now there's a few different ideas that I had for this. My first idea was taking like a tiny magnet, gluing either side of the like a tiny one, like our magnet clasp size, but just the magnet insert instead of the bezel that it comes in. But you could do like a little, if you can't get this leaf to work, there are other ways of getting it to close, and that being a magnet on either side so it magnets shut, and then you can open it Otherwise, that's why I use the leaf here as my little hinge, like my clasp, not the hinge, because the hinge is the jump rings. So where I have to like physically open it and then it hangs normal. So this one, I'm definitely gonna have to maneuver where the leaf is on here. I think I'm gonna have to pull it down a bit more. Just be very careful when you have the it already resin. So I suggest doing it prior to resining. I'm gonna have to maybe hammer that a little bit. It might break my resin a little bit, but I think the magnet is a really, really good idea for it. Um, oh, Jean said they've used a hook clasp in the past, which you could do like could do a hole punch here and a hole punch there and have a jump ring and a clasp, like a hook clasp, but we don't I think we actually might be all out of our hook clasps now, and we can't get those back because the supplier has since closed. But there are several ways about getting this to stay closed if you need it to. But I think the magnet is such a cute idea. All right, let's see. Let's get up this notification here. To be notified of these live events and classes, text live to 855-948-2148. All of our like pre-orders, when we're going live, all that stuff that happens, and you'll get text messages 5 minutes prior to the live starting. And it just depends on when we're able to get the products listed for the pre-order stuff. But all fun jazz. Okay, are you ladies ready for the big loot giveaway? Is Uncle Doug ready for the big loot giveaway? Has he sent me YouTube names? Okay, he has not. Okay, Uncle Doug is going to send me YouTube names. I'm going to show you guys what the big loot giveaway looks like again. We will draw for our big loot giveaway winner, and then we'll show what everything looks like on. And then we'll say bye-bye. All right, so let's get this giant thing up here. Amazing. I'll bring you on here in a moment, Uncle Doug. So this is the big loot giveaway. You love React for a chance to win. You must have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com to claim it if your name does get chosen out of the wheel. But like, look at how cute these are. I know Jean's excited for these. We are adding these back in solid brass to start, and then we'll see how they do. I'm excited for those. Not embossed, not pre-embossed. They won't come looking like that, but the shape. You got like this cute thing here. So get your love reactions in. And I know Uncle Doug put the specifications, what you needed to do on YouTube. So he's got those names for me. I'm going to get these names in there. I'm going to refresh my screen. So you have what, maybe 15 seconds before I refresh Facebook. So make sure you get those. Copy in because it will not be long before I have all those names in there. Ah, trying really hard to reach here. My laptop's all the way at the top. Okay, I have all those. Oh, also, you guys, I'm so mad. So while I'm getting these Facebook names copied over, you guys, I accidentally removed myself from my Jewelry by Corian Facebook page. And I was like, I'm like going through with like I have so many different pages that I'm working with, like vintage and, you know, my car page and my jewelry page and whatever else, but I no longer have access to my Facebook page for Jewelry by Corian. And it's been a hassle trying to get back into it, but I do still have access to my Instagram page. So if you're wondering why I haven't been posting on Facebook, that's why. It's because I don't have access to it. But I just found out how to cross post from Instagram to Facebook. So I can cross post, but until I can figure out how to get back into my Facebook account, I am SOS. I need some major help because I have built that up pretty good and it's just, you know, just one of those things. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with over here too. Whole bunch of not fun stuff. But I have all of our names ready and then we're going to draw. So I'm going to make this full screen. Now I'm going to bring Uncle Doug on here. Well, geez, just give me a minute. You acted like I forget about you. All right.
5 minutes ago.
I'm
No,
bringing
I
up.
was just going to say, for our audience over on YouTube, I'm not sure how many actively view the comments while
Mm,
they're watching. So we've got a good number of people over on YouTube, but not putting any kind of a comment in so that I can include them in the big giveaway.
they probably don't want to win then.
Maybe
For
that's what it
real.
is.
They
They
probably
just
just
don't
don't
want
want
to
to win
win.
it. Yeah. Okay. Are you ladies and gents ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see. And then Uncle Doug will let us know if said person has won before.
Who was said person? Oh, I don't
Carlene?
think Carly has.
I don't know. I think she
I
may
would be
have.
surprised. I don't think Carlene has. No, I think we're safe with a winner on Carlene.
For real?
Well, why are you for reeling me?
I think I like just shipped one out like a month or two ago for her. Maybe not.
Not a big loot.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I think you are. I just scrolled through the list second time. Congratulations,
Good
Carlene.
job, Carlene. Is this her first one?
This is her first. Well, I mean, I can't tell, but within the last 6 months, right?
Oh, sure. Oh, Aunt Nancy's saying, pick me. And I think she put an emoji in there, but it's not registering. It says hand pink waving. So I don't
Oh,
think it'll
mine
show
says
up on
says pick
Facebook.
me, and then it has the hand.
Yeah, that's funny.
So this isn't. It's not as nice as your little spinner. Winner,
Check
winner,
that out. Here, let me make
Carlene.
you a big screen there. There you go.
Winner,
Give her an
winner.
applause. Good job. So as long as you have an open order with us on vintagelifeshop.com, you can claim that deal. All right. So we need to get into our look. I'm just slowly putting my iPad back in its spot so I don't close out the live early. All right, we're knocking you off, Uncle Doug. Hi. I'm doing. Oh man, I need to. I think eventually I'm going to like push this out a little bit more when I have some time and some more room. That way, this isn't like super bright behind me or anything, because it is. Huh? Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't. I don't need the live to end early. That would be so sad. Okay, yes, this is the. That's the big looter. Make me try to make me a little bit farther back so it's less stinking bright. All right, so this is the flower one that we just did. This one's on a little bit of a shorter necklace, but I do think that it would be like super phenomenal being kind of like in that area, down a bit farther, but it's a really good choker length too. Love that. And then see, I can't even open it up. That's how good this little leaf clasp is. At least let me just open it. Of course, I don't have a clasp on it, so my chain just slides off. So anyway, you can open it up and then you can close it too. And yeah, I didn't put a stinking clasp on here, so it just fell off, but super cute. I love it. And then this is if you would want it like green and gold. I would do, looking at it now with the scarab metallic green, I would do more of like the mossy green gold is kind of my, but I'm loving that hammered back with the hammered inside. Looks great. I love it. So cute. All right. Guys. All right, we're gonna see if this could be a necklace. Oh. Oh, it could be. It could be a big necklace. I always like doing that with my bracelets just to see kind of if it would work, if I can make something that's more matchy matchy with it. I'm gonna make a quote unquote bracelet helper for a sec. I always lose my other one. And I always make my bracelets super, super, super fitted. So I got to use some wire sometimes to help. Let me turn off that light. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Look at those freaking facets. Let me kind of stand up and then there we go. Maybe it'll be a little less bright. Look at all of those facets. I'm trying to like close up that so it's less bright. I really, I love that. And then I have the 3 coming off. You can see where those are hooked up. Love that. I love it. I mean, it's so cute. But this next one, I did put this one up as a necklace after I had made it in the bracelet size because oh, it's so pretty as a necklace too. It's so pretty as a necklace. I need to zoom in a little bit. This way. So like a choker like that. I know it looks like a little fuzzy right now, but just to give you an idea of a choker version. But I really love it. I think it's so cute. And then we'll need a clasp this bad boy, maybe. Just watch me struggle over here. Oh, okay. My earbud just about fell out too. I think I caught that prior to it happening. So that's our frog bracelet. Back is simple. Maybe I can turn this way a little bit. And then you can see like that hematite and the resin flashing. I love that. Super cute. Super, 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 super duper, duper cute. And then we have those earrings. Is the last thing that I think we have for you today. All right, let's do these earrings next. Thanks, Cindy. Oh, Uncle Doug, Peggy is impressed. Proud of your efforts in your doodling today. And then I should probably hold this up with my good thumb. And then these are, come down a little bit. Maybe I do zoom that out. Okay, so can I just put it in my ear? Okay. This is anchor on top, sailboat on bottom, which I think is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'm gonna turn it this way. There we go. So sailboat top, or no, anchor top, sailboat bottom. And then we have our, where's the other one? Thanks, Janet. You're so sweet. And then we have the sailboat top with the anchor bottom. Which I think this one really makes sense because it's like if you did paint this to look like the moon, it's sailing past the moon with its anchor in the water. Otherwise, the other one, I really like the way that the anchor here like cups the bottom of the nugget circle. I really love how that sits and lays. It's like perfect. But let's pop a couple more pop couple more comments for you. What is do we know what Ainsley and Jean are doing on Friday? Thanks, Janet. You're so sweet. Carlene, she said, thank you so very much. I hope you know that you won the big loot giveaway. So make sure you have your order in if you don't already. I will start shipping those as soon as I can. But yeah, does Uncle Doug want to come over here or does he want to go back on over there? Okay, Uncle Doug's I like watch his hand signals. And I think my laptop turned off, so we don't need to say bye from the laptop thing, but we will say bye together. Make it a little more good. And move my cart here so he can scoot back here. Yeah. I got a nice little setup going, so we're working on it. Mm. All right. I don't see a do we know what Gene and Ainsley are doing on Friday? Okay. Yeah. I'll figure out what that is and then yes. So next week, Wednesdays live. I mean, all the lives are gonna say the same. But I am leaving for Virginia next Thursday, so I'm gonna go live Wednesday. I'm gonna be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be back Tuesday, and my master class is the week afterward. So I am going a week late on the master class because I'm gonna be gone. And then our live might be formatted a little bit differently for next week, just so Uncle Doug is able to pull things and ship things because Kieran and I are both going to be gone. So it's literally like Uncle Doug here by himself. So, oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll need to help for sure. All right. But just a little bit of an update for you guys. If you have questions for me regarding the live or things that you need or stuff on the website, you can email me warehouse@vintage.com. Otherwise, visit vintageliveshop.com to see all the inspiration, product photos, listings, so on and so forth. Yes, do that and sign up for the loot, you guys. You're getting over $300 retail value for $100. It is our best deal, and you're getting that on a monthly basis. And speaking of the stash, thanks for bringing that up. I might be adding, so for those that don't want to subscribe, I might be adding like the same price. They might be a little bit higher, but the stash that we ship out each month, you can buy one. You won't be able to join the masterclass for it, but you can still buy
And the
it.
cost will be just.
Yes, because you're not subscribed. Yes. Yes. Yep. So you will have that option eventually, but yes, probably. Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you.